Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I want to talk some more about my idea of having a present form of life is still very natural and should be common. Right now we're like human, and maybe we get to meet some other entities, but overall we're human, and we kind of have to make do with the fact that we're gonna die eventually. But I suggest already working with identities which transcend death. So if you think about reincarnation, you don't want to be afraid of death too much, because death is just a moment. Like, from our point of view as a human, death is just a moment where we leave this body as our spirit continues, kind of. Um, At least that's what I like to think. I like to think our spirit continues, and we may already be able to tap into other identities, and we may already be able to come up with social structures which describe um, the transcendent of identity. Like, we know that love is a very strong indicator of what you can experience with another person. Like, you can really experience what it's like to think the same way and feel the same way. And yeah, so transcending your identity as a human, it's not that uncommon. Like, if you're positively inclined and you're already kind of thinking outside of the box, you should be able to connect to other identities which you'd like to experience and you'd like to tap into. So, that being said, we have to try to balance our absolute freedom and creativity with what is possible in this universe to manifest what we want to have around us. So, I suggest you balance out the two. Have some anchor points towards your goals that are sure and solid, and also some room for your absolute freedom and creativity. This is so you won't get lost on the way, and also so you won't get bored or upset with yourself. For me, it's mostly that I have to set the anchor points to make sure I don't get lost on the way, and also I have to have my absolute freedom to not get bored or upset with myself. But for other people, it may be the other way around. Like, other people may need uh, their absolute freedom and creativity on the way to not get lost, because they want to tap into their own resources, and they must remain tied to some kind of schedule or some kind of anchor points to not get bored or upset with themselves. Uh, it may be true for other people. I can't fully relate to it because for me it's the other way around, but yeah, of course, you're free to do whatever you want. I'm sure you can find inspiration in applying yourself in either way. I think most of you are going to want to embrace absolute freedom, presence, and creativity since we are spiritually inclined. I like working with my emotions a lot to create a happier, more content version of myself, but at some point, this kind of grew into something more, and it has extended beyond me, and now it's like finding ways and creative means between people and myself. So it's not just emotions, it's also the thoughts and psyche and soul work, basically. So if you want, you can already make this your practice if you're in an early stage of discovering uh, spirituality, or maybe you're just a young person, young individual who likes to figure out life still. Like, it's fine to work with your emotions and work with the basic spiritual stuff of making yourself somehow grounded in some kind of way where you can feel like you're content with life. That's basically the main spiritual teaching most people are trying to give you. Like, just get grounded in a way that you are content with life. And yeah, some people like that to be the opposite of grounded at all. Like, so for me, it's like both. I want to do basically everything. Like, I want to do a lot with my life. So I'm doing everything triple times over. Like, actually try harding to make everything work. But if you're just starting out, I suggest you don't burn yourself out, and you kind of just go with whatever you want. But I suggest working with your present point of absolute freedom. Like, if you're present, you're basically free to be ultimately free and to do whatever you want. Of course, you have to keep in mind others, and you have to keep in mind your physical manifestation in this universe. So don't go about and be completely careless. But if you're just aligned a little bit with what other people feel around you and think around you, and uh, yeah, from there on out, you can apply your ultimate freedom and your absolute presence and your ultimate creativity to your life. We can basically come up with anything and everything, guys. It's like total freedom. So, yeah. I'm going through a phase where this is kind of struggling a little bit with my relationships. Like, I feel kind of tied down by my relationships. Like, I want to be ultimately free and I want to craft with that, but I'm kind of held down with the implications of that and the after effects of that. So I'm trying to be careful not to hurt anybody around me, and that's something I'm gonna have to work out a little bit. How to work out, like, sometimes it can be best to just rely on someone who is more powerful than you and works in the same field or associated field and just has more experience. That's what I tend to do. Um, so I tend to have a little bit of a request of oversight by these people or entities. And yeah, that definitely helps me get some relief of these strugglesome thoughts and concerns. So that's a suggestion. Um, if you don't want to do that and you want to be completely empowering yourself, I suggest you work with the higher mind hive like structures that you can try to get a hold of when you work with people and social networks. So you can kind of remain free from interacting while still having your social security network. That's something I suggest you don't grow too cold to other people at all. Like, even in your mind, like, you gotta respect some sort of life force in other people. But I guess you can be more free if you work with social networks in an abstract way. And that's an option too. You're probably gonna have to grow a lot, and maybe you're inclined to work with that a lot better. That could be true. Or you're gonna have to grow into it and be a lot more responsible and create your own authority. Um, I kind of like to do so too, but I like to also refer to my authorities and spiritual teachers and like godlike entities, which I tried to request to kind of teach me and kind of guide me along this path of mine. So I don't think it's too much to ask. Like, I have to scale it a little bit. Like, you probably want to come towards these people with a little bit of grace, I'd say, and but it's not too much to ask. I'd say if you're respectful and just try to help other people as well, then you're automatically pretty much welcomed by most teachers. And yeah, that's something to go for, I guess. That's definitely something to keep in mind. But ultimately, I suggest we take this basic upbringing of life, which is also a great reminder. Like, this life form is basically upbringing. So even though the universe is set to die off sometime in the future, I doubt we're actually gonna die off as a life force. Uh, like we're already transcending all these complex ideas and thoughts, and we're working with quantum mechanics and such, and working with great energy resources. I and great ideas. Like, I think we don't really have to worry about our human life form dying off. Maybe we transcend into other bodies and transcend into working with other dimensions. But um I think we're maybe able even to tap into some multiverse idea. But what I wanted to say is the basic upbringing of life is like positive. So the basic upbringing of life is like pro-life. So even we come from matter, and the initial start of this universe is from like some unknown force which transpired into creation of atoms and matter, which then became life force eventually. So over a long course of time, this matter becomes a life force. And now I'm thinking like now I'm thinking actually, do we have to respect the fact that we become self-conscious after the fact of not being so? Like, we still have beings around us, like animals and such. Do we have to respect them not being so self-conscious yet? I just want to go with my inspirational resource and say that the creation from life out of matter ultimately, like, that's just such a miraculous fact that we can probably just work with our absolute freedom and presence and go from there. Like, we're probably already inspired by some kind of higher power which created the universe. So we're probably free to work with our own presence and freedom and godlike state. Godlike state. So I suggest we really take this basic upbringing of life as kind of a buffer and a setback handling method. Like, if you get any setbacks, just refer to how life transpired to be and how we just became born out of this is how we became born and how we evolved, basically. Okay, of course we have to respect the universe as an inspirational resource. So we have to obey these laws of the universe, and of course we want to be ethical with other people. We have to respect the means of acquiring resources, utilizing energy, and transferring them into meaningful ideas and manifestation. We have to respect the means of acquiring resources, utilizing energy, and transferring them into meaningful manifestations as well. So that's a lot to think about, I think. For now, that's probably enough. If you haven't noticed, guys, I'm also an avid gamer, so I like to video game a lot, and I stream doing so on my Twitch channel. So if you're curious about that, check me out on there. I am also open to talk about spirituality on there if you're wondering. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on my next video. Yeah, so hopefully, I know my last video did me a lot of good. Like releasing that, it felt really good. And even though I didn't get any comments, or I got some likes, but I didn't get any comments. But I feel like we really transcended to a new stage here, and it's like we're still talking about the same thing, but it's kind of to a new level now. So if we can keep doing so, we can grow this community in something really good and advanced. And that's really what I'm looking for, guys. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it as always. And check me out on my socials, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I mean, and see you guys later. Have a good one.